Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the middle of the first of many pullbacks, and this is a very obvious one. I feel as though this was needed. I said in the live stream from the other day that we will most likely see a pullback very soon with how high things have been moving, and how fast it has happened as well. And with that being said, we definitely have to talk about it. We are going to be addressing a lot of information in this video. So with that in mind, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So let's take a quick look at what's going on right now. So Bitcoin having a little bit of a sell-off down to 96 point roughly 5K. Ethereum still doing pretty well. I mean, it's not, as bad. We still are seeing a pullback basically across the board, as you guys can see, but Ethereum has barely budged here. The big thing that I'm really kind of looking at is also how altcoins are ultimately performing during this entire time, because altcoins are not going to get hurt as much simply because of Bitcoin dominance, which we definitely have to talk about and address, because this is a pullback, and ultimately I would say like a shakeout. This is going to be the beginning of the shakeout before the next large expansion to the upside actually happens, which, like I said, we will talk about. But let's address a few things. Yesterday, I put out a post right around roughly the same time that I am beginning to record this. I'm recording this video around like 10 a.m. EST. I posted this yesterday at 7:36 a.m. and I said, welcome to the first major pullback after having a full half month of up-only price action. This is healthy and should be welcomed. Now, listen, these pullbacks don't happen over a 24-hour span. It is a, sideways move into a sell-off. For an example, this is the Bitcoin chart that I have been outlining in the Discord for a while, and this is all resistance up here. And everyone was still getting very excited. Everyone was still calling for $100,000 today, but the problem is that we actually have yet to get over this 90, roughly, it's like 98.5K. Now we are actually losing this trend line, which could spell a much larger issue here for Bitcoin, meaning we could have a deeper pullback here to the next area of interest. And when we actually look on the daily chart, for an example, we could see that the overall fair value gap here on the higher time frame is right around roughly 94.9K to about 95.8K. Now, if this doesn't hold, then we will definitely reassess this, but this is where I'm really kind of looking at for Bitcoin. If we do go a little bit deeper, I wouldn't be surprised just by a wick, but I have been focused on the lower time frame trend line simply because if we do lose this, then yeah, it's time to get a little bit cautious. It's definitely time to have stablecoins on the sidelines just for, any major buy opportunities that do present themselves. And, again, with this in mind, I want you guys to understand that this is healthy though, right? Even if we go back in time, let's just go to the 3-day chart for an example. Look at all these pullbacks along the way, even to our previous high back in March. We've had pullbacks like this along the way. It's a very healthy price action. Don't get too concerned. Don't get too worried. This is fine. So with that in mind, what's next for Bitcoin? Well, like I said, the next level of interest on the fair value gap is like 94 point, I think it was like 94.9K, right? So 94.9K to about roughly 95.8K. That's the next area of interest from my point of view. Again, if we do lose this level, then it's going to show us that we are going to go on a much deeper pullback, probably shake the tree a little bit, try to get investors out before the next big expansion to the upside. And from that point on, we'll definitely reassess the chart. But right now, I'm not really focused too much on Bitcoin because although, yes, Bitcoin is a big focus right now. Yes, Bitcoin is having a sell-off today. The big thing that I've actually been focused on is Bitcoin dominance because of the alt season chart. So as you guys know, if you did watch the live stream, the talk was alt season. Even in my previous videos, when I do a chart assessment, the number one thing that I am worried about is alt season. I don't care about this Bitcoin pullback. A lot of this is just noise. They're shaking the tree. I am looking at this because even if we go all the way back in time, and I just want to kind of show you guys this real quick, let's go to the daily chart And let's go all the way back to the previous bull run, aka the 2020-2021 timeframe. So along the way, even back in roughly, like this is December of 2020 for an example. Here we also have November of 2020. Guys, today is the 25th. Look at this. It's almost very, very similar. We're starting to see this pullback. Now, this pullback was a lot more severe than what we are witnessing right now. And this is why I say, it could get a little bit rough. This was about a 16, almost 17% move to the downside. And of course, we did quickly rebound with a roughly 23% move to the upside, followed by yet again another pullback, which was about roughly 11.79% before essentially almost up only season happened for Bitcoin. But this is right around the same exact time period on Bitcoin that it is having a pullback, just like, today currently. And even if we look at today's price action, this candle right now is practically nothing. Overall pullback so far percentage wise, about roughly 3.3%. Now, if we do have a 16% pullback, this would shake the tree, because this would take us down to about roughly 83,460 some dollars, right? $62. But also, if you actually look at the daily, there is a fair value gap right around this range that has not been filled. This could happen. And I want you guys to understand that this could be brutal for altcoins if Bitcoin dominance does pump during this time. Now, yes, this is an XRP video. Yes, we're going to be addressing XRP and talking more so about that, right? Everyone has been excited about the XRP moves lately, and it's for good measure. Listen, as we look at XRP versus Bitcoin in terms of the search trends on Google, XRP has been starting to trail a bit. XRP has been moving up in terms of interest, and as we really look at alt season again, the index is starting to move towards altcoin season. But we are in that beginning phase of, the big bull run for altcoins. Right now, we are still looking at Bitcoin. We're still watching Bitcoin, but there's going to be a shakeout before all of this. And I do believe that that's exactly what's happening right now. I do believe that this is the shakeout before the next big move to the upside, especially considering the fact that on the daily for Bitcoin dominance, guys, check this out. We lost the trend, tried to retest it to break above it, and again failed to do so. This is a daily candle close below the trend line, and today's candle is still below this, and it's sitting at about roughly almost 59%. In my opinion, if this does start to continue to sell off, regardless of what Bitcoin does, I do think that the next big expansion to the upside on Bitcoin, which should take us to 100,000 plus, will take altcoins with it in a very big way, aka alt season will officially be here. Retail has been starting to return back in a big way. So I do think that's a fair assessment to say that we are in the early phases of altcoin season. I think that it's here. We definitely have to, be a little bit cautious with that, because, when this officially starts to heat up, we have about roughly 3 to 6 months. My overall assessment on this is I do think that we top earlier than most want to believe, but hey, that's my thought process on this. But outside of that, as we look at XRP, this is the overall XRP setup. We did have a nice fair value gap that did get completely filled almost on the 12-hour for XRP. This is right around roughly $1.26 to about $1.36. Right now, we are getting close to this bottom trend line. Are we going to lose it? Are we going to invalidate this structure? It could very well happen today. If that is the case, are we going to be concerned at all? No, I don't believe that we should be concerned. I don't think that it is a very big concern at all. Structure-wise, even if we do lose this, I still think that this fair value gap should be an area of interest, but regardless, there is a lot of support down here as well that we kind of formed, and this goes all the way down to like $1.05 to about roughly like $1.12 or so. Overall structure, still looking pretty good. We have to be patient on this. We have to be very cautious, obviously, as well, but, for the most part, this is just a healthy correction. And even as we really kind of look at XRP on a zoomed out scale, this is a very small move versus what has happened since roughly the beginning of the month. But outside of this Bitcoin or this XRP chart, I also have this XRP chart over here. So again, price action right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we did retest this bottom trend line, which would be about roughly $1.10. Again, that would align with us retesting this major support zone down here before a much larger expansion. It would be enough to shake a lot of people out. But this would be retesting this trend line so that we not only confirm this being a much larger expansion to the upside, but also confirm strength on XRP. This is the first time that we actually broke out of this overall trend line in the history of XRP. We're talking about the 2021 high. We're talking about the 2017-2018 all-time high. Guys, this is a clean breakout to the upside. Now, there definitely is a lot of resistance. A lot of charts have been at resistance over the last couple of days. I updated the Discord last night with the weekly breakdown, talking about how we were at significant levels of resistance. So we have to be cautious. And that's exactly why, I always say, don't let the noise get to you. Don't let it cloud your judgment. If we are at resistance, if we are starting to see, a lot of people getting very excited, it's typically time to start, preparing those stablecoin bags on the sidelines for buying the dip. And I do think that that's where we're kind of at right now. Now, of course, as we really look at everything happening around XRP, I still am 100% focused on the XRP Bitcoin pair. We have yet to actually retest this upper trend line, but I do believe that we are going to very, very soon. The upside potential on the XRP Bitcoin pair is absolutely insane, which will definitely wake up the USD chart in a big way once we do start to see dominance usurped from Bitcoin into these other altcoins like XRP, for an example. And I do think that that's going to happen in alt season. And I actually did outline this over on X as well with one of the most overlooked XRP charts in the space, which is, of course, the XRP.D chart, which is the dominance chart. This is the percentage of the total crypto market cap held by XRP. And I did say right now this chart is trading at about roughly 2.54%. At the time that I am recording this, it has dropped to about roughly 2.48%. But I said, but once we break this macro trend line, the move to 4% happens extremely fast, in my opinion. There were times in previous cycles where XRP has held over 10% dominance, with the highest being around 2017 with 30% plus. Dominance is about to be usurped from Bitcoin in a very large way that Maxi simply won't be able to comprehend. XRP holders, get ready for some very violent moves. And yes, as we really look at what's going on in the space, this pullback, once this pullback is completely done, once this correction is done, the next wave up is going to be very exciting for altcoins, in my opinion, especially with how weak Bitcoin dominance has become. And I do think that on this next wave, as Bitcoin is pumping, I do think that Bitcoin dominance is going to be selling off. And that's where dominance does start to be usurped from Bitcoin into Ethereum, into large cap altcoins like XRP. And that's when we start to see the big moves happening around the space. So the number one thing that I want you guys to take from this video is this is very healthy price action. This pullback, whether or not we do get the 16% drop or not, is healthy price action. We should be welcoming in a pullback. And if it is going to be this large, we should welcome it in with stablecoins on the sidelines to prepare to buy the dip. Because again, this is healthy price action. I know that there's going to be a lot of people saying like, oh, Bitcoin just nuked, the entire crypto market just nuked. But a lot of it is just blown out of proportion, exaggerated content for views. Right now, I wouldn't be too concerned at all. Structure is still intact. XRP still does look pretty good here. Even if we do lose this trend, like I said, the big focus is down here because this is where a lot of the demand around XRP really is. The macro trend line on this chart on the weekly, the focus is like roughly around like $1.11, $1.10. If we do get to see that, it will be a very big buy opportunity before the much larger expansion to the upside. So with that being said, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.